Welcome to the 16th edition of NCS TV.
I'm Joel Nielsen.
And I'm Curtis Black. I'm going to take off with the first segment today, so let's go get started.
I'm Curtis Black. Look down there, and what do you see? The familiar sights of NCHS hallways, minus the students, and minus the disgusting PDAs. Every day, students walk through here, and we always encounter maybe one or two couples off in the corner by their locker, making out or just getting too close. Well, I went through the school, and I've asked students and teachers what they think and how they feel about PDAs.
Melissa, what is your opinion on PDAs in our school?
Well, I really don't pay attention to a lot of it. I try to ignore it. It really doesn't bother me.
Now, Kevin, what's your opinions on PDAs in our high school?
Well, I don't think they're too appropriate.
And what do you constitute as too much for a PDA, or not really too much, but what don't you think is crossing the line?
I think holding hands is fine.
I'm here with Senior Joel Griffiths. Joel, what's your opinion on PDAs in our high school?
I think PDAs in our high school aren't too bad. Sometimes they're bad between certain people, but overall, they aren't bad, but I don't like to see them.
Ms. Coleman, what are your thoughts on PDAs in our school?
Well, the PDAs in our school make me very uncomfortable when I walk through the hallway, and I believe it reflects back to the social skill of dressing and acting appropriately in the school building.
Well, I agree with you. Well, thank you for your comments.
Where am I? Can't see anything. Blesses and splashes, my precious. 'Tis a choice beast.
Who are you?
What is it?
I am Bilbo Baggins. I lost a wizard, I've lost the dwarves. I don't know where I am and I don't want to know.
What's its guts and its hands is?
A sword, a blade out of Gondolin.
Perhaps we sits and chats with it a bit, yes.
The NCHS forensics team is off to a good start this year. The Blue Jays have finished 6th in 2 tournaments, 5-1 and 4 in another. They've qualified 5 for the state festival: Patricia Hagman, Jessica Nielsen, Nick McKee, Zach Patton, and Brett Wyatt, and 3 for the state champions tournament: Keith Vincent in extemporaneous speech, and Andrew Abels and Stephen Mizell in duet acting. Let's hear what some of this year's forensics participants had to say about their involvement in the program.
What events are you in this year?
I am in IDA and Sirius Solo.
So, kind of had stuff to say.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so how do we shut this thing off?
Thanks, Curtis.
All right, now let's send it to Kevin for a wrap-up on this year's Scholars Bowl team.
This year's Scholars Bowl season had its fair share of bright spots. Let's get the lowdown on the season from Mrs. S. I'm here with Mrs. Sebelius, and she's the coach for the Norton Scholars Bowl team, and I'm going to ask her a couple questions. First off, Mrs. Sebelius, who's all involved in Scholars Bowl?
Kevin, we've had a really large group of kids this year. Mark Mabin, Kai Mann, Heath Vincent, Ian Conkey, Josh Jackson, Joel Griffiths, Kevin Lentz, Jordan Herman, Nathan Pollock, Maggie Nielsen, Annette Becker, Dane Krizik, Danny Wiest, Mark Sheets, Ashton Lofgren, Tricia Hagman, Jessica Nielsen, Amy Myers, Eric Burton, Nick Evans, Danny Wiest, and I apologize if I've left anyone off the list.
As overall, how do you think the season went?
We had an excellent season this year, Kevin. We placed first at Hill City, first at Waukene, first at Herndon's varsity and junior varsity with our junior varsity team, and placed first at Norton. So we came in first like 5 out of 7 competitions.
Okay. And then at regionals, explain what happened there.
Regionals were a real heartbreak, terribly sad. We only lost 2 rounds. We lost each of them by 5 points, which is about half a question. And the 4 rounds we won by 185 points, or more than 46 points per round. Our regional Scholars Bowl team consisted of Mark Mabin, Kai Mann, Heath Vincent, Ian Conkey, and Annette Becker was our alternate. It was a heartbreaker.
Well, overall, it sounded like a pretty good year. So, thank you, Ms. Sebelius. Now that we've got some very helpful insight from Ms. Sebelius, let's go to a few of the Scholars Bowl members. I'm here with Mark Mabon, captain of the NCHS Scholars Bowl team. Mark, how did this season go for you and the whole team in general?
Well, we won some tournaments, but it was a disappointment because it's the first year that I haven't qualified for state.
Okay, any last words?
Charlie Fuller was a big help to us at the Norton tournament.
How did this year go?
It went pretty good. We had a little bit of a letdown at regionals, but that's okay.
That'll happen. Any last words?
Scholars Bowl rocks.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ty. That's all for this segment. Now back to the show.
Well, thanks, Kevin.
Now let's send it to Joel for a season wrap-up on the championship Blue Jay wrestling team.
Yeah.
On February 20th and 21st, the Norton Blue Jays competed in the regional wrestling tournament held here in Norton. The Blue Jays had a fair showing, placing a close second and sending 10 wrestlers onto the state tournament. They crowned 3 regional champions in Clay Madden, James Annan, and Michael Sprigg. They also had 2 silver medalists, 2 third placers, and 3 fourth placers. The Blue Jays took their momentum from the regional wrestling tournament right into state. The Blue Jays fulfilled all of their hopes this season, coming away with an exciting victory over their rivals Hoxie. The Blue Jays totaled 175.5 points, while Hoxie had 172.5. The Blue Jays trailed going into the final match of the evening, but junior Michael Sprigg came away with the overtime victory to win himself and the team a championship. Norton had 2 other champions in James Annan at the 130-pound weight class, who also won last year, and Clay Madden at the 112-pound weight class. He also received his second individual state championship. The Blue Jays had 2 runners-up in freshman Nathan Brockman and senior Scott Goldsby. They also had 1 third-place finisher in Jordan Housen. Other wrestlers who placed were Lance Rowe at 4th, Kent Mann at 5th, and Bo Fonsil at 5th. Overall, Norton had 9 out of 10 wrestlers placed and won their first championship since 1973. Good job, Blue Jays. I'm here with state champions Michael Sprigg and James Annan. James, what did you think of this year's tournament?
Well, it was pretty tough. We all knew we had a good shot of winning it this year after a tournament a lot of our varsity guys from last year. So we all went down and did really well and wrestled the way we all prepared the way we wanted to. And so I think we had a little luck, and all that turned out to be really good.
Michael, you've been labeled as a hero for winning your last match in overtime to seal the victory for the Blue Jays. What do you have to say about that?
I guess I was just the last one on the mat, but everybody wrestled really well at the state tournament, and I guess we had to after a loss to Hoxie at regionals here. So, everybody knew what they had to do, and we just came out and did it.
James, going into the year, Hoxie was labeled as unbeatable, returning 150 points from last year's state tournament. Psychologically, how did the wrestling team deal with that?
Well, we knew that they'd beaten us like all throughout high school, so there was no pressure on us to win, but we knew we could. We were like the only team that knew that we were capable of beating Hoxie, so we didn't worry about what anyone else said, and we just ignored the newspaper articles, and we just believed in ourselves, and that's what really caused us to do better as a team as a whole.
All right. Michael, going into your last match, you probably felt a lot of pressure. What did you do to get ready?
I just thought about, I'd been working up to this all year and all week, and, I was ready for it, and it just came down to my match, and so I just had to do what had to be done, and I just went out there and got a win for the team.
James, you won a state championship last year at the 125-pound weight division. Coming back this year, returning for your second one, did you feel any more pressure?
Yeah, I definitely felt a lot more pressure because everyone expected me to win, and I did lose 2 matches, and when that happened, then I felt some of the pressure come off me. So it was able to help me perform better and open up more after that happened.
Well, thanks for your time, guys, and good luck next year, Michael. In other sports news, the Norton Blue Jay basketball teams have done very well lately. Both teams ended their season against Stockton with victories. The guys then went to play Beloit in the first game of Upstate held at Norton. They went on to win 57-44. Good luck to the sports teams, and congratulations to the wrestlers on the state championship.
All right, well, thanks, Joel, for that wonderful segment, and great job to all the wrestlers.
Now let's finish up the show by sending it to Charlie Foley with a segment on school news.
NCHS has been chock full of news these past few weeks. The art department has been busy with various contests and displays. On February 1st, the 2nd through 4th year art students took their work to the Federated Art Contests at Kansas Wesleyan University in Salina, Kansas. Brad Anderson, a Kansas Wesleyan art professor, juried the works of art. Norton made a good showing and was awarded 7 blue ribbons. Roger Bausch for mixed media and oil painting, Ashton Lofgreen for lettering and printmaking, Sarah Kimbrell for ink drawing, Gabe Vitito in negative space watercolor, Austin Jacobowski for print collage, Kayla Fahrenbrook for oil painting, and Brandon Otter for oil painting. Upcoming action for the NCHS Art Department includes the Dane G. Hansen Museum display that will take place from February 28th to March 28th. 2nd through 4th year art students will exhibit 1 to 2 pieces of art at this exhibit. Our art instructor, Ms. Stoll, will be a guest speaker at the opening event. On a more local note, the February NCHS Artist of the Month competition results are in. Faculty and students vote on an exhibit of 3 pieces of art that have been submitted from 1st year to 4th year art students. For the faculty choice, 1st place was Anna Berry, 2nd place was Ashton Lofgreen and Tasha Line, and coming in 3rd place was Chelsea Cox. Winners of the student choices were 1st place Jared Sloan, 2nd place Anna Berry and Ashton Lofgreen, and 3rd place Keisha Holste. Congratulations to all the art students who competed in these various events. The NCHS Journalism Department competed in a regional journalism competition in Hays, Kansas. 10 students placed high enough to continue on to the state journalism competition. Those were Amber Engelbert, Jessica Duscher, Shannon Jones, Kayla Peterson, Gina Myers, Annette Becker, Jessica Corbin, Amy Houston, Pamela Foley, and Danae Payne. Congratulations and good luck at state. Last week, the Norton chapter of the FFA held their annual FFA Week. During FFA Week, various contests are held on different days of the week, and FFA commits acts of kindness to faculty and students alike. Monday was Beater Day, in which participants were to drive the junkiest vehicle possible. Tuesday was Cowboy Day, and the FFA members held a breakfast for the faculty of NCHS at 7:30 in the morning. On Thursday, muffins and orange juice was served in the lounge before school to the students of NCHS. FFA Week came to a close on Friday with Dress Up Day on February 27th. And now back to the station.
Well, that's it for the 16th edition of NCS TV.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching.